Good evening, everyone, and welcome to another beautiful Tuesday evening. It's Tuesday Bible series with Auntie Buki. If today is your first time viewing my channel, my name is Adebukola Akon, and I love to be called Auntie Buki, and I'm glad to have you here with me today. Last Tuesday, we talked on the triumphant entry. Today, we're going to continue because it's the season, it's Easter, and we took our series from the book of John, chapter 12. This particular series from the book of John, chapter 12. Before the triumphant entry, it was recorded in the book of John that Jesus and some of his disciples arrived at Bethany. That is where Mary, Martha, and Lazarus. This was after Lazarus was resurrected from death. Jesus, after 4 days, Lazarus was what called forth, and after he died for 4 days, he resurrected. While he was eating, in the book of Matthew and Mark, the woman was not specified. They just said a woman. But I took this particular one. I went to the book of John and I saw that John said it was Mary. Mary, the sister of Martha, and Mary, the sister of Lazarus. The same Mary of Bethany. Yes, that was what in John 12, you'll find it. John specifically said it was Mary. She brought an beautiful alabaster box filled with oil. The oil was this, you hear it, oil, the perfume, oiled perfume. So you can imagine, it was an expensive, beautiful box. What was in the box was oil. So me, I see it as a treasure. It was something that was of high value to her. She didn't say anything, she just brought the oil and broke the oil on Jesus' head down to his foot, used her hair to rub it on Jesus' face. The disciples, but in the book of John recorded that it was Judas Iscariot, the same Judah that we're going to talk about later in this series, complained and said, why the waste? Why waste such oil? What if we sell this and give it to the poor? That alone will show you the greed that Judah had. And sometimes we think we are doing the good thing when the good thing is not even the right thing. Jesus, hearing them complain, said, why are you crucifying her? Why are you saying what she did is wrong? You always have the poor among you. But there's something she's doing. She's doing this to prepare the way for my burial. That was the first time Jesus predicted his death. After a while, Jesus said something again to buttress this. He said, anytime the good news is preached, anytime the story or the sermon of the birth, the death, and the resurrection of Jesus Christ is preached, this particular act Mary did will be recorded. When all this happened, it was later recorded in the Bible that Jesus went out and went back. But there was something about Judas. Judas I talked about was a greedy person. Judas was greedy. Judas was very, very greedy. He was thinking of the benefits of the 30 pieces of silver at that time. He wasn't thinking of any other thing. His greed overwhelmed him, and he was ready to betray Jesus for something as small as 30 pieces of silver. During the Passover, while Jesus and his 12 sat at the table, Jesus predicted that one of the 12 will betray him. Looking at each other, the 12 looked at each other, and each disturbed asked, am I the one, Lord? Am I the one, Lord? Even Judas asked, am I the one, Lord? And God said, you have said it. This particular thing was the first communion in the Bible. While they were eating, Jesus took the bread, prayed over it, blessed the bread, and cut it into pieces and gave it to all the disciples. He took the wine, he thanked the bride, prayed over the wine, and gave all of them to drink, and told them that the bread represents his flesh and the wine represents his blood. That was the first communion in the Bible. After all, Jesus now said something. He said, just a little while, you all, while they were eating and they were so happy, they were merry with him, he said to them, you all will desert me very soon. All of you. And Peter was like, if everybody deserts you, not me, I will never desert you, my Lord. And Jesus looked at him and smiled. 3 times before the cock crow, Peter, you would deny me. Short while after, Judas came. After then, Jesus left while they were talking. He came now with men armed with sword. He came with men armed with sword. And he came to them and he told them, said, the one I kiss, that is the one. That actually showed that Jesus was so humble that nobody who has not seen what Jesus does, or who have not heard him preach, but didn't even know who was the master or who was the disciples. Everybody saw them as the same. So if he's among the disciples, nobody can, with his act and everything, distinguish who is the master and who is the disciples. Judas told them, the one I kiss is the one. And he came and he kissed Jesus and Jesus smiled. The disciples were so angry. One of them took the sword, cut the hair of those that came to capture them. Jesus was like, what are you going to do? If I need anyone to fight for me, the host of heaven are there. What can you do? So he told them, stop. Stop fighting. Stop being, he that lives by the sword dies by the sword. Stop it. So the hair, he put it back and the hair was healed instantly. I wonder if I was there and I saw that kind of miracle, will I still be part of such thing? But sometimes people are so blinded with evil that they don't even see the good in people. Jesus was arrested, brought to the high chief. And he came, he was asking Jesus questions, he was saying so many things. People said, you call yourself this. People said you healed people, you do this. And I want to ask you, I'm demanding from you, are you the Messiah? He now said, I, the Son of God, will sit at the right side of my Father. And when the time comes, I will come out of the cloud to judge the world. Oh, the high priest was so angry. Now shouting, blasphemy, blasphemy, blasphemy. Before then, 2 men came forward and witnessed against Jesus. They said that Jesus is always saying things that he is the Son of God, that he is this, is that, and that he can destroy the temple, their own temple. That he could destroy the temple in 3 days, build it back up. The high priest was asking him, like, these people have come to testify against you. What say you? And Jesus was like, he didn't say anything. Until the high priest demanded of him, asking him that, are you the Messiah? Are you the Son of God? Never was he recorded in the Bible that Jesus denied who he was, even when he knew the consequences. He never denied himself. How much more we? How can we now deny Jesus when he, at the point of death, did not deny who he was? No. For there is no reason why we should be ashamed of somebody that laid down his life. That even before you was even given birth to, he knew us. I knew that he had to suffer things he did not do. And not once did he deny himself. No. He didn't deny who he was in Christ Jesus. No, he didn't deny who he was in God. He never denied that he was the Son of God. He was asked if he was the King of the Jews. That was when Pilate asked him. So we'll go back. The high priest, after hearing Jesus saying he's the Son of God, seated at the right side, just said, blasphemy. So he started blasphemy. I don't need any other witness. This alone is all I need. He has to be crucified. He has to be crucified. So he was taken to Pilate. It is only the Romans that have the right to execute people. That was why the chief priest brought Jesus to Pilate. Pilate asked, what did he do? And the chief priest was like, and every other person was like, if he was not a criminal, we won't bring him to you. Jesus a criminal. And Pilate asked Jesus, what did you do? And Jesus did not say anything. Pilate was like, are you the king of the Jews? Jesus said, my kingdom is not of this world. After a while, Pilate went to meet the crowd. The same crowd during the triumphant entry that were removing their clothes and asking Jesus to walk through, were the same crowd shouting, crucify him, kill him. Be wary of the praise of men. Don't let the praises of men be what moves you in life. See, let strength come from within. The same people that were shouting and everyone was like, what's happening in the German? Removing their clothes, doing everything, even ready to lie down, the donkey right over there, were the same people shouting. Abby, there were the same people shouting, crucify him, kill him. Within 7 days. While the people were waiting to see the judgment pass, while people were waiting, Peter was around. Also, he wanted to know what would happen to Jesus. The first time, Peter stood by the courtyard. And somebody, a slave girl, was like, a part of the disciples, Peter said, no, I don't know him. So they were all by the gates, round the fire, trying to warm themselves because it was during winter. Trying to warm themselves. It was the cold season. Trying to warm themselves. And somebody else saw him and I was like, are you not part of? He said, no, I don't know him. He waited again. So he was speaking. People were talking, so he was also talking. Somebody looked at him and was like, your accent. Are you sure you are not part of the followers of this man? I said, I don't know this man. I swear, I don't know him. And then he said it. The cock crowed and he was like, he felt ashamed. He was in a situation where he was afraid. The master they looked up to seemed helpless. Pilate had Jesus beaten, brought him out and said, let me release him. He said, no, don't release him. Pilate now said, okay, there's something we do every year. I release a prisoner to you. So should I release the king of the Jews or I should release Barabbas? They said, no, release that notorious criminal Barabbas and let Jesus take his place. This was a sign that no matter how much I've seen it, the way Jesus took the place of Barabbas, Jesus has taken it. There is nothing that is happening in us that Jesus has not put himself in it. He was taken to the cross. He was beaten. He was battered. He was taken to the cross. At the cross, there were two thieves standing both at the left and at the right hand of Jesus. He was among thieves. Why? He was mocked. He was crucified. And after so much pain, he died. Joseph of Arimathea, a secret follower of Jesus, took him and put him in his own tomb that he had prepared for himself. That was on a Friday. On Sunday, Mary Magdalene and some other women wanted to apply spice on Jesus' body. They got to the tomb. And guess what? Empty. Empty. He has risen. It took our shame. It took our blame. It paid the price. We are free. Why? Because Jesus, being blameless, came as the sacrificial lamb for you and for me, that we may live in abundance, we may live in peace, we may live in good health. Never forget, whenever you have anything, remember the suffering, remember the stripes, remember everything he went through. Never second guess it. Jesus has paid it all. And we have come to the end of the series of Easter. I hope you picked one or two lessons from it. Till I come your way next Tuesday, remain blessed. Bye.